I'm Krishnendu and welcome to the tutorial video for embedded systems. So we were dealing with module 2. Module 2 consists of mainly 4 topics: fundamental issues, computational models, UML and hardware software trade-offs. Among these, the second one, which is computational models in embedded design, we are dealing with in this video. So we will cover the first 2 models. Commonly there are 6 models used in embedded systems: data flow, control, data flow, state machine, sequential, concurrent and object oriented model. In this, the first 2 models we are going to see in this video. So the first one is data flow graph or diagram model. It translates the data processing requirements into a data flow graph. So all embedded systems will contain some processing requirements. In this model, these processing requirements are converted into or translated into a data flow graph. And second main thing is that it is a data driven model. What is a data driven model? A data driven model in which the execution is determined by data. So data flow graph model is a data driven model in which the execution of process is determined by data. Then it emphasizes on mainly 2 things. The first one is data, the input and output data, then operations on the data. Operation on the data will convert the input data into the output data. Then I already told that it is a data flow graph, so it is a visual model, so it will have some representations. So here process are represented as blocks and data flow are represented by arrows. There will be both inward and outward arrows. So inward arrows for input and outward arrows for output data. Then embedded applications which are computational intensive and data driven are modeled using the DFG model. So there are mainly 2 points, that is the embedded applications must be computational intensive and data driven. Then we can model this type of embedded applications using our DFG model. So the main example is DSP application, that is digital signal processing application. Digital signal processing application like image processing, these are the examples. Then about the implementation part, suppose one of the functions in our application contains the computational requirement as x equal to a plus b and y equal to x minus c. The first one is x equal to a plus b. Here a and b are the inputs. So a and b is represented using inward arrows, and it is given to a process or an operation which is represented by a circle or block. This is known as a data flow node. So a plus b gives x. Then the second one is y equal to x minus c. So c is the input, and from the first step we get output as x, then it is given as the input to the second step. So x minus c giving y. So this is the representation or the DFG model for this particular function. A data path is the data flow path from input to output. So here we can see this is the input and this is the output. So this path from input to output is known as data path. There are both acyclic DFG and non-acyclic DFG. Acyclic DFG means there will be no multiple values for input and there will not be any multiple output variables for a set of input. So no multiple values for input and no multiple output variables. That is known as acyclic DFG. And non-acyclic, the main example for non-acyclic DFG is feedback input. Feedback input means the output is fed back into the input. So that is main example for non-acyclic DFG. Then a DFG model translates the program as a single sequential process execution. So a single sequential process. What is a sequential process? Step by step process which is depends upon each other. So here we can see this was the first step, this was the second step. So the second one is depend upon the first one because the first one's output is fed as the input of the second step. So this is dependent and this is sequential, that is first step then second step, like that. So this is all about the data flow graph model. And next one is control data flow graph model. It translates the requirement into a concurrent process model. So what is concurrent process model? Concurrent means parallel, like both will be independent. The processes will be independent in concurrent process model, and it occurs in a particular order. So the above one, that is data flow graph model, was sequential. Here control data flow is concurrent. Then it involves conditional operation. So this is the main point, that is the main difference between data flow graph model and control data flow graph model. In control data flow graph model, there is conditional operations. Then it contains both data operations and control operations. Data operations, as the previous graph, there will be data flow nodes in control data flow model also. But extra, there is a control operations, which is known as decision nodes. So there will be decision nodes and data flow nodes. Then the representation. The process is represented as blocks, and data flow is represented as arrows, as the above graph. Here the extra one is the control node. So control node is represented by diamond block, like this diamond block. So about the implementation part, here the requirement contains a decision making process as if flag equal to 1, then x equal to a plus b, else y equal to a minus b. So this thing we want to represent in our control data flow model. So this is the representation. This is not that much clear, but I can explain. This is flag equal to 1 question mark. So this is the decision node or control node. If it is true, then a plus b. Then a, this is plus a plus b. This is the process. If it is false, that is if flag equal to 1, this condition is false, then y equal to a minus b. A, this is minus b. So like this, data flow is like this. If it is true, then data flow is like this. So the decision on which process is to be executed, whether this process is to be executed or this process is to be executed, this decision is depends upon what? Our control node. Okay. Then we are gonna see a real world example for our control data flow graph, which is the digital still camera. What this digital still camera do? It will capture some pictures and save those, and the image is transferred into a particular format. So capturing and saving of the image to a format set by the user. So there are both data driven processes and decision making processes. The first one, data driven. So CCD sensor generates signals, that is captures a picture. So CCD sensor generate an analog signal, and this is converted into a digital signal. This is the first one. Then from ADC, that is analog to digital converter, stores the data to a frame buffer. Then this data, that is the digital signal, is stored into a frame buffer for the use of media processor. Media processor will do auto correction, white balance adjusting, etc. Then the second one is a decision. Decision is on selecting the format. So we are having a number of formats that we can save our picture. So decision is on selecting of this format. So both there is both nodes are there. Decision nodes are there and data flow nodes are there. So this is the example, real world example for control data flow graph. So what we learned in this video is that data flow graph, control data flow graph model and their main difference. So I already mentioned about the difference. First one was the control data flow model is concurrent and data flow model is sequential. And in control data flow model there is control node or decision node, but in data flow node there is no control node or decision node. This is the main two differences between these two models. And then for example, for each of the models we already covered the examples. Then that's all. Thank you.